Greetings, Master Coach Rich Grogan here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. So, I've got a question for you. Do you know the number one reason why teams fail? Why relationships fail? You know the number one problem in most relationships or in the lack of success for a team? You probably guessed it. It's poor communication. Communication is the foundation for everything. And oftentimes what happens, maybe you have a small problem, a small misunderstanding. Something's interpreted the wrong way. Because we know people are going to interpret things in a way that it depends on how they're feeling, right? So if they're feeling down, they're feeling upset, they're feeling frustrated, they're feeling sad, they feel the pressure of the world on them, and we say something to them, well, and especially a lot of times in text or email, which is like the form of communication nowadays. Rarely do we get a chance to talk face to face, which would solve a lot of problems. Well, something's said and we catch them on a bad day. Well, they take it one way when we meant it another. And then what happens? It all blows up. But usually it doesn't just blow up right off the bat. Something small manifests or builds to a point that it has to be said or it has to be sent, a text or an email. Instead of attacking the problem early, we push it off. It'll get better. It'll get better. It'll get better. And then suddenly it doesn't get any better. And then now we got a big mess on our hand. And I always like to give the example, like if you get a cut on your hand and you don't do anything, it'll get better. It'll get better. Well, cut didn't get any better. And now it gets infected. Now you got a big problem on your hand. If we just would have taken care of it first thing, right? Yeah. So this month we're talking about Synergy September. Now synergy is synchronizing that energy together, right? Syncing it together to have the best possible outcome. So collectively we can work together, not against each other, but together synchronize our energies to produce something spectacular, something wonderful. And for teams, our hockey team's starting up right now, man, we all got to be on the same page. The coaches, the players, the parents. If you got one part of that off, it's going to take that synergy and destroy it. Got to have everybody working together for a common goal. That's how successful teams make it to the top. That's the difference between the teams that succeed and the teams that lose. That's the difference between having a great relationship and a good one or a bad one. It all boils down to proper communication. But of course, just as it takes two to tango, so to speak, two to fight and argue, and it does, well, it also takes those two to collectively work together to create that synergy and then bring others in order to continue with that synergy. So if there's a misunderstanding, if there is a problem, or there is misinterpretation, one, try and set back before firing off a text or an email right out of haste or right off the bat. Think about it for a second. Think about maybe that person meant this. Maybe that person meant that. Get a chance to know that person. Stephen Covey in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of the habits is all about seek to understand before seeking to be understood. Now, do I have that figured out? Well, I'm better than I used to be, but I still got a long way to go. So I'm learning as I go. Each and every day, my whole goal, my prayer is please help me be a better, wiser person today than I was yesterday. And it doesn't mean I don't go without making mistakes. My gosh, I continue to make mistakes. And I don't like being wrong, and I don't like making mistakes, and I know most of us don't. But it's going to happen. When it happens, be humble enough to say, you know what? I goofed up. That wasn't my intentions. And the sooner you can do it, because we never know how that's going to affect someone else. We never know how they're going to interpret it. We never know how they're going to take it. And it could be manifested in building. And then suddenly out of the blue, you get bang, hit with that right hook of reality. And you're like, where the heck did that come from? Well, I've been building for some time. Now, it's important, as much as we all like to be liked, right? Regardless what you do, some people out there, they're just not going to like you. Now, that's hard for me. I don't like that. I'd like to be liked. But I also got to realize that my message isn't for everybody. Not everybody's going to connect with Rich Grogan. Not everybody's going to connect with you. So don't lose who you are. Don't lose your core values trying to please everyone, because it's never going to happen. And I tell you that from experience and years and years and years of trying to do it. I would sacrifice everything that I believed in and this and that. This is 20-something years ago, to try and make everybody happy. At the end of the day, those people that were unhappy to begin with, they're never going to be happy, period. And who did I lose in the process? All the other people that respected me, or other people that they still liked me, but I kind of shunned them to the side, trying to be something I wasn't to the people who didn't care about me anyway. But the person I lost the most, myself. And there's no good synergy when you don't have the positive energy coming from you. How can you replicate something positive when you don't know who the heck you are because you have no core values? I kind of drifted off the path a little bit, but it's all coming back together now. That synergy has to start with you, believing in who you are, representing your core values, but also being humble enough and willing enough to learn every single day. How and what can I do to get better, to get wiser? What and how can I do it to try and, be more understanding of, and once again, we have no idea, I talk about this a lot, the battles and struggles other people are fighting. So, and they have no idea the battles and struggles we're fighting. But if we can connect, and if something doesn't feel right, and I always say go with your gut. A lot of times I go against my gut, and it usually comes back and bites me in the butt, right? I'm sure you've done that too. But that Synergy September, all about collectively working together to create that harmonious balance, creating that synchronized energy to get the results that we want. So if there's something that's troubling you, bothering you, don't let it build, don't let it manifest, don't let it turn into something it shouldn't, a little bitty molehill turning into a mountain. Attack it right now. When I say attack it, don't come, guns a-blazing, so to speak, but just ask. Ask for clarification. Talk to them. And it's always best if we can do face-to-face, as hard as that is. But usually, like I said at the very beginning, we get something that bothers us, we fire off an email or fire off a text. Well, texts are even the worst because we don't explain at all what we're feeling. It's short text, and people are going to interpret that in a manner that they're feeling at that moment. So there you go. So what's the number one problem? We know what it is. It's poor communication. So let's work together. And each month we've got a new theme. This month, let's try and work together to create that synergy, that positive energy. But it's got to start with us. And once again, we got to be humble enough and willing enough to know that each and every day we want to learn and get better. And at the same time, we got to be stern and firm in our core values and know what they are and know why we have them in order, because once again, you can't be everything to everyone. All right, there's your message. So Synergy September, drop in the comments, maybe drop it in there, a problem that's bothering you. You just got to get it out of your head. Get it on, drop it in the comments there. And you'll be surprised. Other people probably have the same problem with communication. And then also maybe drop in there synergy, because you're saying it, you're thinking it. That's going to help things get better, right? Now, is it going to happen overnight? Well, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. So let's take that one step and move in that positive direction. Good? All right. Well, as a reminder, How to Get More Ice Time hockey program is out and available. And for teams and organizations out there, got a heck of a referral partner program. You get 10% back for every program you sell through your organization. And I'll set up a code for you so we'll track it and know exactly. And the whole idea, part of the big part of this is proper communication and leadership skills. We could all benefit from that, right? All right, everybody. Well, thanks as always for listening. You found value in this. Please share this message with someone else that you know could benefit, and listen to it more than once. You're going to pick up something you missed the first time. Thanks again for listening. Talk to you real soon. God bless. Bye-bye.